Hey guys, what's up? It's munclesonkey, and I am coming at you with some of the boss testing in Legacy that I actually decided to do. And first of all, I'm going to be doing QBD, so I kind of wanted to test QBD. I did use Dragonbane bolts for this, so just be aware that that's the reason why my accuracy is pretty much 100%, and I'm hitting really well on here, even off of Slayer task. So first of all, I kind of wanted to compare Ascension crossbows in Legacy versus the Royal crossbow in Legacy. And of course, the Ascension crossbows are level 90 gear versus the Royal crossbow only level 80 gear, but as we all know in Legacy, 2H weapons are kind of overpowered. Hopefully this gets fixed soon. Again, when the Evolution of Combat first came out, if any of you remember this, 2H weapons were also really overpowered. Like, when EOC first came out, you would either go with Darox or you'd go with Chaotic Maul, and that was like the best thing to use melee-wise, and after a few months it was fixed. So I imagine something like that will probably happen with Legacy. At the start of Legacy, 2H weapons are incredibly overpowered, way better than dual wield, just like they were at the release of Evolution of Combat, and I imagine that will be changed at some point. But first of all, I wanted to basically see, is it worth killing QBD in Legacy? And that is kind of up to you guys to decide. There are advantages and disadvantages to killing QBD in Legacy. It is still much faster to kill QBD in Evolution Combat. You can average about 30-second faster kills to 20-second faster kills, depending on what gear you're using, of course. If you're a lower level without the best gear, it's going to be a little more difficult to kill QBD no matter what mode you're using. But if you are using close to max gear, for example, like Pernix and Ascensions, you can easily get, around 1 minute 45-second-ish kills in the Evolution of Combat. Using Dragonbane bolts like I am right now, or around 210 to 215 minute kills on Legacy. So the QBD kills on Legacy are pretty fast. However, one thing that I do gotta warn you guys on is you do end up using a lot more food because QBD just takes a lot more damage, and also Soul Split doesn't heal you nearly as well in Legacy as it does on the Evolution of Combat mode. So you are going to be taking a lot more damage, so that means you're going to have to bank a lot more often. Of course, it's not that big of a hassle to bank at QBD because you can just teleport with the captain's log to the player-owned ports, and you can end up banking pretty quickly that way. I did do some more testing off of camera, but I only decided to show 1 kill with Ascension crossbows and 1 kill with Royal crossbow. I didn't want to do a whole bunch of kills and speed them up super fast because then you couldn't really see what's going on. But one thing that I did find is Royal crossbow and Ascension crossbows are roughly around the same kill speed at QBD. The Royal crossbow shoots much slower, at least with the Dragonbane bolts, that is, they're about the same speed. But it just hits so hard. I was very often hitting like 500, even up to 600 with the Royal crossbow and the QBD. And the Ascension crossbows, even though they fire much quicker than the Royal crossbow, they just do a lot of low hits. You'll see a lot of hits in the 100s or even below, and the Royal crossbow just hits so hard so often that it really does speed up the kills an incredible amount. One nice thing about Legacy is you can pretty much one-hit the Tortured Souls because they only have 200 HP, whereas in the Evolution of Combat sometimes you have to like spam click them and use a couple abilities on them, and they're kind of annoying to do. But as you can see, like, I just did eat quite a bit of food, and in the Evolution of Combat mode, if you have Dragonbane bolts and Pernix and Ascensions, you can pretty much no food just about every single QBD kill unless you get really unlucky. So if you want to relax and you don't mind banking more often, and you don't mind kills that are slightly slower, Legacy isn't necessarily a bad thing, and you can definitely go for that. However, if you want the max kills per hour and you want to not have to bank very often for supplies and stay on really long trips, Evolution of Combat is still definitely the way to go. You'll definitely be making much faster money there. I'm not sure exactly how Legacy works with lower leveled gear, but I imagine it would be quite a bit slower. But about the fastest kills you're going to get with Legacy is right around that 2-minute range is probably the max. Maybe a bit faster if you're using a Steel Titan, but Steel Titans wouldn't work out the best because, again, you're taking a lot of damage, so you kind of need the pack yak for that extra food there. And here's just an Evolution of Combat kill, kind of for comparison. As you can see, with the Dragonbane bolts and the Ascension crossbows, it just absolutely tears through QBD. QBD was supposedly buffed, but I honestly couldn't tell a difference at all. I was still averaging about around that 150-ish mark, a little bit under 2 minutes per kill, as long as you're doing it correctly. This kill was not done correctly because I didn't end up getting to Death Swiftness for the 4th phase, just because I didn't build Adrenaline correctly, and I didn't bring Adrenaline pots, because I always forget Adrenaline pots when I boss for some reason. But yeah, if done correctly, you can average about 140 to 150 kills with Pernix and Ascensions, and yeah. But another thing that I wanted to test out is Glaciors in Legacy, because Glaciors are debatably one of my favorite bosses in the game. I have made in total 13 staffs at Glaciors, so I've killed around 13,000 Glaciers total. And what I found is Fire Wave isn't really very good at Glaciers because Soul Split doesn't heal very well. So if you use Fire Wave, you basically have to end up taking a ton of food. Even using Vampirism and Aura and Soul Split, I still was not healing enough, and this is using Virtus armor as well. So my armor was pretty good, as well as Scrimshot of the Elements. Of course, I don't have Seismics, just the Chaotic Staff. But still, you were just taking a lot. I was taking a lot of damage using the Fire Surge. I think I said Fire Wave earlier by mistake. So really the best way to kill Glaciers, on Legacy at least, is to use the Blood Barrage on the Ancient Spellbooks. And when you're doing it correctly, you can get about 50-second-ish kills, so it's decent. This averages about to around 430k XP per hour. The XP was nerfed a little bit. The minions give like half the XP that they used to. It used to be like 1,000 XP per minion kill. Now it's about 450 or so. But if you're doing it with the Blood Barrage correctly, you can get around, 50-second kills for Glaciers, which isn't amazing. The Glaciers' health was buffed, but still on the Evolution of Combat mode, you can get around 40-second kills-ish. Probably even faster if you're using Seismics and Blood Barrage correctly. I wasn't. I was just killing them my traditional way, which is not the best way to kill Glaciers. Glaciers' health was buffed, but it's still only a couple more abilities to kill the Glaciers. It really does not make the kills that much longer. The only bad thing is really the minions' XP was nerfed, because just killing the minions alone, it's really good XP. They only take a couple hits to kill, and they're like 1,000 XP per kill, so it's actually pretty good. The only problem with Blood Barrage, and you'll see it during a couple kills here, is you will kill the Enduring last sometimes, and there's really not a whole lot you can do to get around this unless you go to your spellbook and switch to the single target ancient spell, kill the Enduring, and then switch back to the multi-target and kill the rest of the Glaciers. But that's a huge pain, and really the only reason why you'd kill Glaciers in Legacy is because it's relaxing and easier. So as you can see, most kills, you're able to kill them normally, but for example this one, the Enduring dies last, and that's just what's going to happen if you use Blood Barrage. I could not find any way to get around that and kill the Enduring last without switching to the single target ancient spells. So it doesn't slow down kills that much. It only, even with the Enduring kill last, you still hit the Glacier pretty well. It's another 3 or 4 casts per the kill. It doesn't slow down that much. So if you guys are fine with relatively not the best kills, this is still, even using the Blood Barrage all the time, it's still over 400k XP per hour. That is magic plus constitution. That's not 400k magic XP per hour. And of course, it's a lot faster in the Evolution of Combat, and the reason why most people do Glaciers is for the XP and charms and such. And it's better to do it in Evolution Combat. But for people who just want to relax and want to use Legacy mode, Glaciers are pretty good. And if you guys are interested, I could make a Glaciers Legacy mode guide. If you would like to see that, and maybe I could try to find a way to get around killing the Enduring last and see if there's any good way to not do that. But overall, if you just want to relax, make a staff, and it's going to take probably 5 more hours to make a staff, but it's going to be way easier, way more relaxing, this is probably the way to go. Anyway, that's about all for my PVM testing for today, so thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you found some of this interesting and informative, and I'll be back with possibly some more PVM testing Legacy later. Farewell.